Let's create a beginner-friendly watercolor tutorial. Let's paint a beautiful moonlit night sky with majestic mountains, trees, and let's splatter some stars as a final step. Let's get started. Let's paint the mountains using a wet on wet technique. Let's start with the first color, cerulean blue, which is a light shade of blue, and as we move towards the upper parts of the sky, let's make it darker. Since we are working with a wet on wet technique, it will help us to blend the colors beautifully into one another, creating that soft, magical night sky look. Keep blending the colors as you paint. This will help us to avoid colors puddling in one area, and also it will help us to avoid hard edges. Let's continue to paint a second layer with the same set of colors. Before that, I'm just going to clean up the water that has run onto my masking tape. If there is too much water on the masking tape, it will again run back into the painting and it'll create little blooms in the corners. So I'm just cleaning it up before we start our next layer. As long as you're using a 300 GSM 100% cotton cold press paper, you can work with multiple layers, one above the other. The paper will not buckle or tear. I'm continuing to build the layers little by little to make the upper parts of the sky darker and the lower parts of the sky, let's keep it lighter. Now let's add a bit of black into the darker shade of blue and let's paint the upper parts of the sky with this color. This will be the final wash and then we'll start painting the mountains. Allow the sky to dry completely and then let's start painting the mountains. I'm using shades of violet, dark blue and a little bit of black to paint the mountains. Keep an uneven edge at the top to give it a more natural look. Now let's use a clean damp brush to lift off some paint from the mountains to give it a more natural look. Now let's bring the scene to life by painting some enchanting trees along the mountains. Don't worry about perfection, just have fun pulling some long straight lines for the trunk of the trees. I'm using a size 3 round brush from White Knives for this step. I'm using Van Dyke Brown, which is a dark shade of brown, for this step. You can use any dark brown that you're having in your set for this step. Now, let's take our trees to the next level by adding some intricate details. Grab a fine brush and start painting branches and smaller branches to your trees. These tiny details will make your trees look more realistic and captivating. Remember, there is no need to rush. Take your time and enjoy the process of adding these fine details. These branches create a sense of depth and dimension, making your night sky come to life. Now let's add a moon to the sky using white Posca markers. I'm also going to add some depth to the moon by adding a touch of black that is on my palette with my finger on the moon. Now we'll add a little semicircle on the lower side of the moon with yellow Posca markers to make the moon glow. I'm adding some more details on the tree just to enhance the overall appearance of this beautiful night landscape. I'm using black Posca markers. I'm adding little dots on the corners. Now you can use black Posca markers if you have, or else you can use a small thin round brush and black paint to add little circles on the corners. You'll notice how they add to the overall charm of the painting. Remove the masking tape gently from all the four corners once the painting is completely dry. Let's sprinkle some stars on the night sky with silver jelly roll pen. And here we have our beautiful night sky with detailed trees, stars, and a serene moon. I hope you enjoyed this beginner-friendly tutorial and had a blast exploring the beauty of the night. I can't wait to see your amazing starry creations. So if you recreate this painting, do share it on Instagram and tag me, Jasmita_art. If you found this tutorial inspiring and helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to join me on my creative adventures. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in the next video.